On reflection, I could have died to much worse things. What if it was a dragling? That would have been really embarrassing. Yeah, at least I got torched by a giant dragon. That's a pretty cool way to die. Anyways, without any further ado... Oh yeah, I didn't show off the breast hold. I'll save that for another time. Don't worry about it, it's kind of useless. It really just lets you have a zoomed in look on things, but what we want for this fight primarily are the fire bombs and turpentine, however you pronounce it, I don't know. So this is the Phalanx. This is the first major boss, and he just got a few good shots off of me. And there's one right behind me. Dear God. And yes, the game is chugging a little bit. As well as the game runs most of the time, it will have some moments where it will start getting a little bit slow. Anyways, I mentioned before this guy is very weak to fire, and fire is the best way to fight this guy. It will take out a lot of its lackeys, as you notice. It's a lot of these shield creatures from before. We saw a few of them. I can't remember the name of these. I'll have to brush up on my Demon Souls knowledge, because really I haven't read up on the game in a long time, and even when I played this game a lot, like a month or two ago, I didn't know these things' names. It's just some weird name. I can't remember it. It's not even on the tip of my tongue. I just plain old can't think of what it was, but yeah. Regardless, let's just keep throwing fire bombs at it. In this case, I think we can take out this soul guy just by himself. I always just thought that these were a bunch of black tar monsters, and then these little ones were like mini phalanxes or something, I don't know. But the main thing, it's pretty much just that big flash of light with a big black tar base that it sort of just slides across the ground with. You'll see it once we get rid of all of its little friends. Shouldn't take too much longer. And as you can see, using the fire bottles really helps a lot for taking out all these guys. Not to mention it does a crapload of damage to the boss himself. If you kill the boss before you kill all these little guys, any remaining enemies just sort of die automatically. But I tend to like to kill all of its little friends first, and then kill it, because it literally cannot defend itself. It has no attacks. Once you take out its lackeys, all it can do is sit there and watch you hack away at it. Which can be pretty fun, because it kind of backs away from you. Once it knows that, you know, you've pretty much won the fight, it just cowers away in a corner, from which point you can just sort of hack the crap out of it until it dies. So I guess we'll do that, considering it's sort of a tradition of mine. Or maybe I'll take out most of them, and then whatever's left. Oh god, I'm getting low on health. I'll bet he was hoping I didn't notice that. There we go. Some late moon grass. Late moon grass is very useful for just eat one, heal your full health bar. We didn't do that. It would have taken us a little bit longer. Just if we can avoid delaying ourselves as much as possible, that's the best idea right now. Anyways, what else is there to say about this boss? It's pretty much just a collection of smaller enemies joined together. You gotta fight a whole army of these dudes. And it is a pain in the butt if you don't have flame-based weaponry, because of just their shields. You have to hit them from behind, otherwise you won't do significant damage. And if a lot of them hit you at once with their spears, then it can do... the damage really racks up very quickly. Anyways, now that we've killed all of them, this thing has no defenses left. All it can do is slide to the corner. It's kind of a pitiful thing. So, let's finish it off. There we go. Demon was destroyed. You shall obtain the demon soul, and the power that is beyond human imagination. And we also revived, so we got our body form back. We do a little bit less damage, but we also have a full health bar, so, you know, give a little, take a little. Good stuff. And, also with all these guys that we took out, we get plenty of sharpstone and possibly hardstone to upgrade our weapons afterwards. So overall, good stuff. Pretty solid first boss. There were maybe one or two close calls, but took care of it pretty well. Anyways, I mentioned before about a really silly looking recovery from a certain attack you can do, and I finally figured out how to do it. If you press the strong and then press it again, you do that jumping attack. But the best part is right there, right after you do the jumping attack. You kind of do this little dance to get back into position, and I really love that, the way that he does that. It's just swing, schwung, and then woo! And so I hope you enjoyed my interpretation of that. Sound effects and all. Anyways, let's return to the Nexus. It's not a bad boss fight. Just 5 minutes and he's done. And I was playing it patiently. If you want to, like, speed run that guy, you really can. You just have to take out just enough to really get in on him instead of attacking his lackeys.
Welcome back. The monumental awaits the above. The monumental will explain the Nexus to thee.
Alright, so Maiden in Black here. She's actually how we'll be leveling up throughout the game. I don't think I can show it off just yet, because we have to talk to the Monumental before we can really continue with anything, but let's talk to this snarky guy right here, see what he has to say.
Still alive? I am impressed. This is something that might interest us. The Black-robed Maiden of the Nexus looks after the flames. She's a morose type, with eyes occluded by wax. She can control souls like no other. Bring her the souls of men and demons, and she will embolden your flesh and blood with their power. But beware. Do not devolve into a foul beast.
So yeah. Maiden in Black, eyes occluded by wax. I don't quite know the reason behind why her eyes are covered with wax, but she's an interesting character. As they said, she keeps the torches in the Nexus alight with that big candle of hers. And overall, she's sort of an interesting character. Anyways, they mentioned about the Monumental. We're going to go up to see him now. I think it's a he. It's sort of like a very young-looking person. It's a childy voice. This sound, the voice actor sounds female, though. I could be wrong. I don't know. Either way, Monumental. I think people mentioned that they're sort of almost like statues, just sort of with the ability to speak and stuff. They're sentient beings, but at the same time they're also statues. This is the one that we're supposed to talk to. This is sort of a depressing sight. All of the other ones are actually dead in one way or another. I don't know how dead a statue can be, but yeah. Anyways, down here we have a little item we can get, the Stone of Ephemeral Eyes. And, even more of these guys. Yep. Let's take it all in. But, what we want to do up here, anyways, back to the point, is we want to go back to that living one. We want to inquire about the demons and Boletaria and just the history of what's behind all this stuff. So let's go talk to him.
We have long awaited you, Slayer of Demons. I am one of the monumentals. We preserve the fabric of reality. There is something thou needest to know. Once, we too, a scourge of demons faced. In the distant past, under a benevolent rule, the world was united owing to the soul arts. Until a lust for power caused the awakening of the Old One. Across the land seeped a colourless deep fog, and the world faced extinction at the hands of the demons. Thanks be, we were able to lull the Old One back to his slumber, yet only after the loss of innumerable souls, and half the world lost, erased by the fog. In order to mend the fabric of what land still remained, we entrusted 6 elders with 6 precious archstones. 1 to the king of a small yet diligent land. 1 to the king of the burrowers underground. 1 to the wise queen of the great ivory tower. 1 to the chieftain of lost and ill-fortuned souls. 1 to the shaman of the tempest-worshipping shadowmen. And the last to the great giants of the northern lands. The archstones were placed at nodes across the earth. We contained the Old One in